Bangalore's water crisis has now become a regular event reoccurring every year. And this year, even the international media has grabbed attention of this water crisis.
Tankers like this are the only source of water for thousands of people in Bengaluru, widely called India's Silicon Valley.
A water crisis in Bengaluru. It's drying up.
Water levels are running extremely low, causing water prices to skyrocket. And it's hitting low-income areas particularly hard, with many families being limited to only 5 gallons worth of water every week.
But the Deputy CM D.K. Shiv Kumar has outrightly denied this crisis.
As far as Bangalore, there is no water crisis. Only about 7,000 borewells have been tried.
Whatever water is coming from Kaveri, it is coming. The fifth stage will be completed only by December. By May.
Deputy CM D.K. Shiv Kumar was referring to the fifth phase water supply project to bring water to the city from Kaveri River. It is expected that this project will ease out the scarcity of water in the city. Although many experts believe that even this fifth phase project won't be able to resolve the ever-increasing water crisis in Bangalore. I'll come to this later. But the question arises, how a city of lakes, how a city where rain pours consecutively for 6 months came to this point. Now, before we list out the specific problems of Bangalore, we need to understand the concepts like biocapacity and ecological footprint. And then I will tell you how the ever-increasing ecological footprint can turn our cities dry and compel people for reverse migration from cities. Let's get started. Biocapacity of an ecosystem is an estimate of its production of natural resources and absorption of waste materials. And ecological footprint is a measure that indicates how much resources from the environment are required to support a specific way of life. Let me make this easier. Let's say Sitapur is a small village in Maharashtra which has 2 small ponds, Pond A and Pond B. Pond A produces 200 gallons of fresh water every day, and Pond B can absorb 100 gallons of wastewater every day. This means that every day 100 gallons of water can be extracted from Pond A, but only 100 gallons can be used for cooking and drinking purposes, and the rest 100 gallons, which are used for washing, toilet, etc., are essentially the wastewater that can be dumped in Pond B. Therefore, net biocapacity of Sitapur village comes out to be 100 gallons of water. Therefore, in layman terms, biocapacity is what the environment is capable of giving us. Now, in 2020, there were only 4 people in Sitapur, and each one of them required 20 gallons of water every day and produced 10 gallons of wastewater every day. Therefore, total extraction from Pond A in 2020 was 20 gallons into 4, that is 80 gallons, and wastewater released into Pond B was 10 gallons into 4, that is 40 gallons. Thus, net ecological footprint in Sitapur is 40 gallons. Therefore, in layman terms, ecological footprint can be defined as the expenditure of natural resources done by humans to sustain their particular way of life. Here you can see that out of total available biocapacity of 100 gallons every day, only 40 gallons are used. But now in 2024, due to some reason, the population of Sitapur becomes threefold. Thus, the ecological footprint, which was 40 gallons in 2020, becomes 120 gallons in 2024. But the biocapacity cannot change, and it remains the same, that is 100 gallons. So now, the people of Sitapur will consume all of the 100 gallons they have and will have to import 20 gallons extra from somewhere else. Interestingly, this can also happen without any increase in population. For instance, the 4 people who were already there in 2020 kept on increasing their consumption, and now in 2024, their consumption has become threefold. In that case, you will get the same results. Now think of Sitapur as a city or a country, and then you will realize that this has been the case of nearly every city and every country in the last few decades. A city's population explodes, and then water is brought from far-flung areas. And then those far-flung areas bear the brunt of water scarcity. Today, the consumption of natural resources in some parts of the world has become relentless. And according to an assessment, the consumption in the US is so high that if the whole world started consuming like Americans, we would need 5 Earths. And thus, Bangalore is not an exception. Look at this graph of Bangalore's population growth. Till 1980s, the pace of growth was slow. But in the recent decades, when Bangalore started becoming the tech hub of India, the growth trajectory also increased due to rapid urbanization. Urbanization can be a great thing for a place, but it can also turn into a nightmare if it is not accompanied by proper infrastructure. And the infrastructure of Bangalore is so poor that it was ranked the least livable city in India as per the Economic Intelligence Unit of London. EIU's Global Livability Index has placed Bangalore at 148th position, below all the other big Indian cities. Even though Bangalore has performed better than other cities in areas such as stability, healthcare and education, its performance in infrastructure was so poor that its position automatically came below all other major Indian cities. And due to this gap in infrastructure development for basic amenities, during summers, the city is bound to bear the brunt of water scarcity. There are places like Bengaluru and Singsandrapalya and many others where BWSSB has not even laid the water supply pipes yet. And the planning is so inaccurate that even the 5th phase water supply project from river Kaveri may not be able to fulfill the rising demands of water. Now look at this table. This is from the official website of Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board. The 5th phase project expects to fulfill the demand of Bangalore till 2035-40, and it projects the population of Bangalore to around 14 million by 2031. But guess what? It is just 2024 and the population of Bangalore is already 14 million, which means that the scarcity is bound to continue. And when we talk about Kaveri River, we cannot ignore the Kaveri water dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The total volume of water in Kaveri is 740 TMC, out of which Karnataka gets only 284.7 TMC, and the rest is released into Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry. Tamil Nadu has already protested against various projects of Karnataka government on Kaveri. And if the 5th phase project fails to cater the ever-increasing needs of Bangalore, it would take another legal battle for Karnataka government to divert any more water from Kaveri River. As it is clear now that the city does not fulfill all its water requirement from Kaveri, the next source of water comes into picture: groundwater. Niti Aayog's report, Composite Water Management Index, published in 2018, had mentioned that 21 major cities, including Bangalore, will run out of groundwater by 2020. Now you might say, that's not true. We are in 2024 and still there are many borewells that supply water. But the reality is, out of 13,900 borewells, nearly 7,000 have dried up, even after going as deep as 1,400 to 1,500 feet. Overexploitation of groundwater is rampant in Bangalore. And if you live in Bangalore, you can see many houses and apartments where, along with pipeline connection from river Kaveri, people also use borewells extravagantly. And after the borewell dries up, they call tankers, which then charge highly for that water. Now that we have learned that how the factors like ecological footprint, insufficient infrastructure, Kaveri river dispute and over-exploitation of groundwater have taken Bangalore to this stage, let me tell you some simple yet very effective steps that you as an individual can take to save Bangalore or any other city you live in. When we talk of solutions, most of the times we tend to blame the governments, courts, political parties, etc. But the truth is, even they don't know how to handle these situations. What you need to remember here is that your real enemy is your way of consumption. It is obvious that you will save water in times of scarcity. But what about normal times? In normal times only, people tend to waste water. So, as a responsible citizen, I suggest you take a challenge. Try this challenge once a week. Take 3 buckets of 20-liter capacity, and fill all of them with water. Now you can use only these 60 liters of water for the day for one person. Use mugs to flush your toilet, brush your teeth, for bathing, for everything else. Take 2 to 3 liters of water from these buckets and take it wherever you go, gym, schools, for drinking purposes only. Basically, you cannot use even a single drop of water apart from these 60 liters of water that you have in these 3 buckets. Now, this figure of 60 liter is not arbitrary. I have taken this deliberately because as per Central Groundwater Authority, the minimum quantity of water required per head per day is 40 liters, and I have taken 20 liters more than that. So do this for 2 or 3 months and you will realize that you have started respecting water. Jai Hind.